Stucky is alive. Woo! And I couldn't be happier. Finally, after 4 years in December, we finally got old Stucky running. And thank you guys again so much for the support. So here's a little recap of everything that's happened.
Well, 4 years ago in December, I was scrolling through Facebook and saw old Stucky come up for sale and instantly fell in love. A few days later, I went ahead and hooked up the trailer and headed to just north of Marietta, Ohio, with a dream in mind. I knew going into this trip that Stucky was, well, stuck and in need of some love, but this was my first big engine, and I didn't even know where to start. With the help and guidance of a few really good friends, went ahead and got Stucky home and started the evaluation. The biggest thing that needed addressed was, well, the stuck piston. So I spent a lot of time heating Stucky up and spraying it down with different penetrating oils and combinations as such. And that took a lot of time. After a whole bunch of different heat cycles, I finally went out and got a 20-ton bottle jack from Harbor Freight and gave that a whirl. That didn't work out nearly as good as I thought, so I kept up with the heat cycles, giving it taps with a sledgehammer, kept trying with the 20-ton bottle jack, but just didn't seem to have any luck. So the heat cycles continued, focused on a few other projects because at this time is when we were donated the museum property, and so we were getting some other stuff set up, but kept working on Stucky as I could find the time to do so. And then eventually, on one fateful day last year, we made some big progress. I got really frustrated. I got mad, hit Stucky with a pretty good-sized sledgehammer a few times, and left for the night. I didn't realize it till I came back the next day that the piston actually moved back a very small amount, maybe a 1/16 of an inch, but it moved. And so at this point, I had picked up a 30-ton jack from Harbor Freight, so I went ahead and slapped that on the back, and we finally got the piston to move. And so I kept at it with the 30-tonner that day, kept pushing, and then eventually we ended up getting the piston out. So as you can see in this clip here, this is our first time actually getting the piston out. So once we did that, went ahead and got the cylinder all cleaned up the best that we could, got the piston cleaned up, and then came the part of getting all the rings freed up. There's actually 5 rings on the piston. The one in the back is for the rear charge cylinder, and then 4 in the front. And so, luckily with Stucky, piston's actually big enough we were able to build a fire inside the piston. And so, once I got it good and hot, lots of time tapping around the rings with a hammer, but we eventually got them all freed up. After that, we went ahead and reinstalled the piston, got a new head gasket made as best as we can, got all the plumbing figured out, and then this clip here was the very first time that I actually got any sort of smoke out of Stucky. Spun the flywheels for a while, got the hot tube all hooked up, just kept trying at it, but this was the first smoke. Now with every little step of success, like first smoke, getting the piston out, came a whole nother laundry list of things to do. So once we actually had Stucky fire for the first time, it was time to put him on a proper skid. So that's what we did. Went ahead and built this skid out of I-beams, railroad ties. Got all that done, finished up our fuel plumbing here, got our diamond valve on, our lines run back to where our propane tanks are, connecting rod, made sure all that was right and proper. And then last Sunday, last day of our fall show, we decided we're going to go ahead and belt Stucky up and started pulling it through. Took a while, it was pretty frustrating. Threw the belt a lot of times trying to get everything figured out and lined up. Trying to get the fuel dialed in, but once we did, Stucky took right off. Ran it for quite a while. Everything seems great on it, but now we do have a few other little small things to tweak. So with it running at speed for a while, We did loosen up in our bearings a little bit, so I just have to, you know, loosen the 2 bolts, tap the shims in a little bit more, and tighten everything up. You can kind of see the play in it there, but that also back here there's a lot of slop. But we're gonna go ahead and get that tightened up. And after all that's tightened up, gonna run Stucky quite a few more times. I know winter's coming, but we'll go ahead and probably run it a few more times without water. Let things get good and hot, let the cylinder get hot, let the rings seat where they want to seat, and then hook the water up and give it a really good long run. Once we're sure everything is good to go, next thing's hooking up the exhaust, getting that outside so we don't deafen the nice people that come down and visit us during our shows. But that's pretty much it. I mean, there's 4 years condensed down into, I don't know, what, 5 minutes of this video, or however long this is going to end up being. But it's been an incredible journey, and it's been awesome having you guys with me along the way. So I know I say it in almost every video, but the support from all of you has been absolutely incredible. I never expected this page to take off. For over 100,000 followers, never would have dreamed of that. I know those are rookie numbers compared to many, but that's never dreamed of that. And that's because of all of you, and I really, really do appreciate that. Now, this is not the end of the Stucky videos by any means. We're gonna get some good run videos once we get everything fired back up. And then the other thing is, you guys can come down and see Stucky in person. I'll go ahead and get next year's show dates up. We're gonna try to plan a few other events throughout the year. But yeah, if you want to come see Stucky run in person, we are here at the Loyal Sauk Valley Antique Machinery Association in Ralston, Pennsylvania. We would love to have you in here, because not only do we have Stucky, we've got a pile of other stuff too. So again, thank you everyone for the support. I couldn't do this without you guys. And I still had one more of those, so might as well fire that off. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope everyone's staying safe and everyone's having a great day.